and welcome along to the Project Cars 2 Virtual Racing League, where today we are continuing our GT5 and Junior Ginetta Championship on the Xbox platform. And there's a lot of drivers in tonight's lineup. But before we have a look at all that, let's have a look at the calendar. So far we've had Brands Indy and we've had Red Bull National, with some extremely close racing actually, in both rounds, but particularly Red Bull National for the lead there. And today it's round 3, Oulton Foster's circuit, a bit of a driver favourite this one, lots of elevation changes, some high speed corners in the middle sector as well. We got some slower speed corners for the drivers to tackle, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on today. Driver standings at the moment, so we've got Subrosa, who won the last race actually after a tight duel with Chris Doherty, who's down in third at the moment. Race 1 winner Free Gazelle in second in the GT5 there at the moment, with Big Bad Wolf and Cherry Berry not far behind, Stalker round 2. In the juniors, it's Scuderia Sam with a 4-point margin over Stuart Davis in second place. Those two have finished first and second in the first 2 races, but Stuart Davis I think will be determined to make up some ground here today. Loopy McGee then comes in third, the Scotsman, just ahead of BDCC Dan, who's been involved in a couple of incidents, but he's just ahead of D-Man actually at the moment. So D-Man though showed a lot of speed at the last race in Austria, but he'll be hoping to actually convert that into points I think today. Team standings, it's Subrosa McGee leading the way, 3-point margin over Team Notmates, and then we have Team Spin in third, Crash and Bash in fourth, Free McEvs, Team Island in the ever green cars, and Brown-tastic in seventh, and then we've got Dino Joe rounding out the order. One of those drivers, Joe though, hasn't actually taken part so far this championship, so hopefully it won't be too long before we see him on the grid. So let's throw it to the starting grid, Alex.
Thank you, Sam. It was a tricky qualifying with Chris taking pole from Subrosa, super close. They only 100th second there, but big surprises. Bad Wolf getting third, probably one of his best qualifying results, with Alex fourth, Free Gazelle fifth, Cherry and Dino Christian rounded up the GT5s. And then in the junior category, you got Stu Davis on pole from BTCC Dan, D-Man in third, so strong qualifying for him. Scooter 3 down in fourth, so not too great. And then Loopy, Roger, Twingo and McEvs.
Yes, a very big grid here today, 15 cars in total, and the biggest junior lineup we've seen so far this championship, and the revs rise and they're off the grid safely now. Let's see who gets a good start. Stuart Davis looks like he's coming through on the back of the GT5s there, passing one of them already in the junior car. It's Chris Doherty with an absolutely fantastic getaway at the front of the GT5 pack, with Subrosa slotting in behind Big Bad Wolf. Oh, there's a bit of a crash. That's Free Gazelle and Cherry Berry coming together there, coming to blows. Cherry Berry still returns to the circuit. There's another car off too. Is that, I think that's BTCC Dan spinning and spinning around now. He's entertaining the crowd at the back there. That's not where he wants to be on lap 1. He's got it all to do, and there's cones flying already as Big Bad Wolf has a look on the inside. Coming on Subrosa now for second place as Chris Doherty makes his way up the hill just ahead of them. Oh, and there's a crash at the back. I think that's McEvs, and Scuderia Sam now is just ahead of his teammate actually. Cherry Berry, Free Gazelle under investigation for causing a collision there. That must have been at the start, coming out of turn 1 quite possibly. We saw that. And making a move now, that's Dan Berry coming through the field. That's D-Man just up ahead, just chasing Stuart Davis by the looks of it, who are first and second in the junior class at the moment. And Dan Berry recovering from his start and trying to catch back up to the rest of the GT5s. And down the inside now, Scuderia Sam on D-Man, and he makes that move stick, I think, just about. D-Man tries to hang it around the outside. They both leave each other racing room. And in the back there, looks like Roger the Dodger. Welcome return for Roger there. I think he's in the red machine today by the looks of it. And D-Man now still having a little look back, and they're coming down the hill now. And that's Alex CDL we're watching. He missed the last round, so he has a lot of points to make up today. Hopefully he's going around the outside of Subrosa. Oh, and they tangle. Oh, and he's spinning around now. And Alex CDL's facing the wrong way, and he's reset the car and he's getting away again now. But this is really shaking up the pack, hasn't it, Stuart?
Yeah, an absolute cracking start there. Plenty of drivers getting in the mix there. Not really know which way to look, and there's Roger. He doesn't know which way he's going. He's lost the position to D-Man there. Looks like Loopy McGee might be getting there. Roger's spun it in the background there. Yeah, Loopy's through. So yeah, it's all changed in the junior class, and Scuderia Sam's lost a lot of time as well. He was fighting with D-Man for second in class, so he's dropped back. You've got BTCC Dan just behind him now. So yeah, all changed from the starting grid.
Yeah, it's had a bit of an issue by the looks of it. This track is challenging. We've already seen drivers making errors already, Alex, haven't we? And Alex CDL has a lot of work to do now from 5th place, but he's shown a lot of promise here too in the practice races. So he's a lot of ground to make up, does Alex?
Yeah, it just looks like he had trying to quite a tricky route move around the back of Sabrosa and just got caught, so a bit unlucky. As we see, was that Dino going a bit wide, being chased by Cherry Berry. So imagine Cherry Berry will get past Dino soon. It's only his third race in the league for him, so looks all new for Dino. And he's going straight on. That makes it a lot easier for Cherry Berry. Just goes straight through, says thank you very much, and away he goes.
Yeah, Cherry Berry's been a bit of a spinning top in the first 2 rounds, hasn't he? He's had a lot of pace when he's facing the right direction, but unfortunately for him and for his championship sakes, he hasn't converted that yet, has he? He's really struggled to come to terms with these cars. But look at this, race control 5-second time penalty for D-Man causing a collision. Not sure who that was for. Do you guys know?
I can only imagine that'd be Scuderia Sam, because like I say, he lost a lot of time at the end of the first lap. Big Bad Wolf starting in the pits, so that's the first GT5 to blink. So hopefully he might put himself in a bit of traffic here, which isn't going to be ideal for him. We saw Chris just about get away with a Red Bull ring, but a bit of a risky strategy there from Wolf as Dino Christian goes through. So the next cars coming through past the Wolf will be the GT5 class. And there's there's Stuart Davis. So yeah, Wolf is going to be sort of bogged down in amongst the junior traffic, it looks like.
Yeah, this will be extremely close here. Stuart Davis probably won't want to fight too much because he's got a nice lead at the moment over D-Man. He's running a little bit wide over that rumble strip just to leave a little bit of extra room. Where's Wolf? Where is Wolf actually? He's behind this lot by the looks of it according to the timing screens. He's behind Loopy McGee according to the timing screens. So Big Bad Wolf there with that really early pit stop as Stuart Davis is taking some rallycross routes here, rallycross lessons. What on earth is he doing? It's very tricky to do though as D-Man coming through and D-Man takes the lead. So race is on now in the junior category. Stuart Davis just relinquishing that lead. It's very easy to make a mistake though down that hill, and then you got that nasty curve waiting for you, Alex, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a really horrible curve. It's got the weirdest rumbles going on it on the outside, and it'll just absolutely send you if it clips you. But unfortunate for Stu, they just looked like the back end let loose, and he was on the grass. But great drive through that corner. Then it was so pleasant as the GT5 of Wolf. You can really see the difference on board. It just flies past, brakes later, and just gets on with it. But that looks like it helped Stu a bit. D-Man looked like he just had to check up a bit.
It did seem that way, and we're going to see a replay here now. So this is of the start by the looks of it. You can see the insert at the top there. That's on board with Stuart Davis, if I'm not mistaken, and he's made some absolutely cracking starts this championship, and not really unexpected because we've seen in the PS4 league as well. He's been making fantastic starts, and that's all the carnage going on in the infield. Oh, Dino Christian coming onto the circuit there, nearly takes out Stuart, and this is Stuart then having to go on one of the GT5s by the looks of it, really getting stuck in there. But it looked like a pretty clean start up to turn 1, and then it all went wrong. Stuart.
Well, yeah, so you got BTC Sedan sort of losing it all on his own there, I think, trying to get away from what was going on with Cherry Berry and Free Gazelle and overreacting. Oh, there's D-Man, he's sort of punted Scuderia Sam off, so I'm assuming that's going to be the reason for his 5-second time penalty. Of course, Stuart Davis, who's fighting with D-Man at the moment, isn't going to know that, and let's have a look to see what happened with Sabrosa and Alex. Sabrosa's on the grass, Alex around the outs. I call that a racing incident, personally, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a very tight corner. Chris Doherty there doing a bit of a hop and a skip and a jump over the curb. He's on fire at the moment, is Chris. He's probably a bit gutted about not winning the last race because he was leading a lot of it. And then this man here, we're looking at on our screen now, Sabrosa, managed to nick that win from Chris Doherty after a really, really good battle. And it's Dino Christian around. He's recovering though. He's in 4th at the moment, hasn't made his pit stop. But yeah, there were 2 excellent scraps going on for the lead in the last race, and it does seem to be these cars, they just promote close racing for whatever reason in both the GT5 and the junior class, don't they? And no action necessary from race control there. And what is it about these cars, Alex, which promotes that such close racing, even in this multi-class format?
I think it's just because they're all so even. It's not stupid horsepower on them. They're like 200 horse in the GT5. It's all more controllable, so you've got more drivers that are more comfortable with the cars, the more close packed racing you can get, and you can have great little battles like Sabrosa and Dino here, right? They're really close, and it's the same with the juniors. If anything, the juniors are probably a bit more trickier to drive as they're on normal road tyres, with the GT5 are on slick, so that's another benefit for the GT5 drivers.
I'm thinking of GT5 drivers. It looks like Sabrosa gets past Dino there. Sabrosa and Chris are both pitted and come out ahead of Big Bad Wolf, so that didn't pay off for Wolf, that early pit stop.
Yeah, well spotted, Stu. So Big Bad Wolf has it all to do now. He's absolutely on fire in qualifying, as these guys are too. Actually, looking at our screen now as the fight for the junior race lead continues. But yeah, the absolute on fire was Big Bad Wolf in qualifying. He hasn't. Would you believe he's one of the veterans of this league and he's never won a race, despite being up there and there or thereabouts. He's never won a race, so he really needs to push on though if he wants to make that day today, doesn't he? As we look at the man now, talk of the devil, he's coming up behind Dino Christian. Dino Christian probably won't fight him too hard because he's not really in the same race, although he is kind of. He locks a wheel though, he runs wide, and that's Big Bad Wolf through. So bit of clear air now. Let's see what the Wolf can do. And race control says there's a 10-second penalty for Chris Doherty for speeding in the pit lane. And yeah, we haven't actually mentioned that, have we? But usually we have automatic pit lane on, but this race it's changed, hasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it's manual now, so usually you get as Dino goes wide there, and that allows Alex through. When it was automatic, it would automatically disqualify you, so with the new manual system, you just get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So in theory, you could still win with a penalty, but you just have to get on with it, as we see Stu really getting on with it, trying to get first place past D-Man there, but it's so close between the two and there's not much in it. I think Stu may have the slight pace advantage here, but we'll have to see. Will he break a bit later? It's a tricky corner to break into, as we saw earlier with Stu, but might have just eased off a bit, trying to get out of the dirty air of the front of D-Man's Ginetta, but super close, and hopefully this battle will continue for the rest of the race.
Yeah, and let's not forget that down the hill there, as you're braking, if you do brake a little bit later and compromise your exit, you carry that penalty all the way up the hill then, don't you? Because you're all full throttle pretty much all the way up until the last but one corners, all the way up the hill there towards the Oulton Park Bridge. So it really is a big penalty if you get that bottom corner wrong, as we've already seen actually a couple of times. And who's that in the white car? It's fantastic.
Alex CDL's passed Big Bad Wolf by the looks of it. He's actually on fire, isn't he? 1 minute 3.6 on his last lap for Alex. Fastest car on the circuit by a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and he's right now with this GT5 car of Chris Doherty, is it?
No,
that's Junior.
That's the Junior.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Stuart's closed up on D-Man there.
Yeah, this is the problem, Steve. We have the same liveries for the GT5 and the Juniors. I thought they were going a bit slow for GT5, but anyway, spit of flame there from Stuart Davis now. Up on two wheels as well. He really wants this win, because with Scuderia Sam further down the pack today, after a couple of errors and a coming together earlier on too with D-Man, Stuart Davis can really capitalise here. And with the point system as it is, 10 points for first, 8 for second, 6 for third, so the old Formula 1 system in terms of the point system, Stuart Davis can really get back on terms here with Scuderia Sam the Championship if he can beat the Irishman. But that's no mean feat, is it? Although he has got that penalty, but they won't know that at this stage. And Scuderia Sam flashing his lights here. Who's that? That's Loopy McGee. It looks like he's battling away with.
That's for third in class, and Sam's up the inside. He's pushed Loopy a bit wide. Loopy's left in the ring. Clinical move there by Sam as well. Well done there. I think he's just that much faster than Loopy. He didn't really have an answer to him there. So that's Sam on his way in third place now, and his leaders side by side.
Yes, talk us through this one, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like Stu's going around the outside. D-Man will probably brake a bit later, but you can carry the speed around the outside, and great move by Stu Davis there. Just sweeping around the outside, and it looks like Free Gazelle and the GT5's coming to play. Hopefully he won't disturb this battle too much. Yeah, he's around the inside. Stu gives him space, which is good awareness there. D-Man looked like he was going for a dive then. It was definitely say he was thinking about it, but I have to wonder if Stu will break away now from D-Man, because he does have the pace.
Yeah, Free Gazelle is the race leader at the moment, so he probably had his heart in his mouth there, coming up to two cars battling together, but that's part of the joys of multi-class racing, and you can see that the benefit the cars get in the slipstream coming up the hill. D-Man was really under the rear spoiler there of Stuart Davis. We cut away though to look at Subrosa, who is trying to keep hold here of Alex CDL by the looks of it. Got them right this time. And Alex CDL is in third. Chris Doherty is in second at the moment. Free Gazelle hasn't made a stop, and this is Big Bad Wolf. Going around the outside there of Roger the Dodger by the looks of it. Just about up on the on the blind crest there, getting through. Okay, and let's see what lap times he's doing. A 1:05.8 so far for from the last one, but it's a little bit slower than Alex up in front. If I had to put my money on it right now, Alex Cedillo looks like in a great position.
Yeah, he's still got the traffic to go through, so we see it replay now. What's happening with Sabrosa? It's like, he try and go through flashing the right, it's ready. He'll have to get past his junior teammate, which he does nicely. As we can see the replay now in the corner. I think that is...
Looks like Alex CDL and Wolf, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Looks like Alex just going up on the inside. Tango Tastic is Twingo Tastic is off in the live feed there, so we just saw a replay of Alex going past. So mistake by Tastic. As see McEv's down in 14th. Seems to be a bit of a quiet race for him. There's Cherryberry's weaving his way through. Is he behind Dino? Yeah, he's behind Dino again. So this will be a change of position if Cherry gets past.
Yeah, Dino riding the curves there, and I think Berry's pitted, so Dino hasn't, which is why he's back behind him again. So, but yeah, as they go up the hill there, like Alex was saying, you can see the slipstream effect that you get, especially in these underpowered cars. And Stuart Davis crossing the line, he's still got D-Man glued to his rear bumper, and there's Chris Doherty coming to play as well. So, and we saw at Red Bull Ring, there was Chris trying to get past the junior leaders quite regularly as he was fighting for the GT5 win. So he's got experience of coming through the junior leaders, so I can't see it being too much of an issue. But you've got to wonder, is he going to want to help his teammate a bit by maybe making life a bit difficult for Stuart Davis?
He might do, or he probably is just out for himself today, I would have thought. But D-Man leaves his teammate plenty of room there on the inside, and I would imagine he'd easily get past this junior car now up the hill here. The power advantage of the GT5 will come into play, yes, already alongside, and on his way does Chris Doherty go now, and he's only got 3-second margin over Alex Cedillo. You can just about see in the background now, and he's got Sabrosa in tow as well. So that could get very tasty soon, hopefully. Maybe we could have a 3 or 4-way scrap going on if Big Bad Wolf can also claw his way in. But Dan Berry's probably thinking, Cherry Berry's probably thinking, how many times do I have to pass Dino Christian today to get ahead of him?
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, those two seem to be magnet for each other. See, Sabrosa got a hell of a run out of that final corner. He's all over the back of Alex. I've said this position, but they've got the juniors to get past, and that's the lead in juniors. Both dive for the inside. Alex has to be conscious of his teammate there. He doesn't want to ruin his race. Both going around. Stuart on 2 wheels. Alex just hitting the brake.
There, didn't he?
Yeah, that might give Sabrosa a chance, but Alex using the traffic there to perfection, and that's held Sabrosa up, so a bit of breathing space now. Is I'm not sure who that is in the white car, just going wide. Yeah, I think it is Stalker, just going wide, getting out of the way. So we'll hear him moments there.
Sabrosa's... Did he throw Sabrosa off? Oh, he's had a moment.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Sabrosa's gone round, it looks like.
Yeah, he's way off.
Yeah, he's got almost 10 seconds to Alex now. Don't know if he had some kind of incident coming through the traffic. We did see he had to navigate his way through the junior leaders. So
yeah, it was like a morning commute on a motorway coming down the straight there, wasn't it? He just didn't know what cars were going to do next, and there's a whole queue of them. And I think it was inevitable somebody was going to lose out there. You could see Sabrosa, he was weaving, wasn't he, trying to get through by turn 1, but with the fight going on in the junior class as well, there's just no chance. And this is looking at D-Man now, who's in second, still looking at the back of Stuart's car. He's going to have a very good, clear picture. You'll be seeing that back of this car, I think, when he goes to sleep at night later on, will D-Man. He's been behind him pretty much the whole time, but he's pressurising and probably thinking it will only be a matter of time before he can get past. And this is Cherryberry now. Hang on, he's passing Dino Christian again. What on earth is happening? Dino Christian finally comes in the pits to make his one and only pit stop. Of course, the GT5s have to pit, but the juniors do not. But with an 8-second advantage, it doesn't mean they're really competing with each other at all, really, does it? And there's Stuart Davis now on his way up the hill.
Yeah, I'm just looking there now, thinking, and that's Pimagino Sabrosa is on his side.
Sabrosa.
That was a big one.
Yeah, he's just had a huge impact with the barrier there. He's on his side by the looks of it, stuck on the barrier, look. This isn't good news, his bonnet's open, so I don't know whether he's getting ready to have a picnic, I'm not sure. He's just sort of wobbling around there. I mean, these cars, you can reset these cars, but maybe he's not in a position to do so.
Or he's forgotten that before. So hopefully he has and he can get going, but we'll find out in a bit. As you see the battle continuing for juniors. It's must be quite frustrating for Stu that with the slipstream D-Man has, he can just stick in that little pocket he has and just follow him all the way through and try and work out how he's going to get closer.
Yeah, it must be a bit frustrating. He'll probably be hoping maybe for a little bit of traffic to come through, try and regain the advantage. But I think, looking back at what happened to Sabrosa, not that put him on the wall, but his first incident there, I think it just shows you that he's so... It's the faster... D-Man gets over the curves, that's not ideal, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, it's the faster class, you've got to be so patient and, the juniors have got their own race to run. There's no gentleman's excuse me out there. You have to sort of accommodate the slower classes when you're coming past, and it's all about everybody losing as little time as possible. As Free Gazelle flying through there, that's absolutely perfect there. There's a little bit of room up through, both on the racing line for the next corner, and that's ideally how you want to do it. But yeah, catching cars at the top of the hill. Yeah, that's what you hope for. Yeah, going down that hill is tricky when you're on your own, let alone side by side with another car. So yeah, there's D-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out like that, does it? You can catch them in completely the wrong place. But it's a matter of, like you say, losing as little time as possible, even if it means lifting off a little bit in the corner before. So it means you catch them at the right time, I guess, isn't it, Stu?
Loopy.
Scudery. So, it's coming off on the track there. That looks like it was Loopy McGee, quite possibly, because Sabrosa looks like he's not going to rejoin this race now. He's down there in 13th.
Yeah, I think McEvs looks like he's out as well.
Good spot actually. McEvs has had an issue. Disconnection issue possibly. We've seen that before, haven't we? Especially with bigger grids, it does seem to happen in these cars. We saw it a lot actually in the Touring Car Championship, I think. But yeah, Luke McGee there. He's in 11th at the moment. He's going along quite nicely, but he's got a nice margin over BDC Sedan, but he's a little bit behind Roger. Well, he's actually only 3 seconds behind Roger, so maybe he's thinking he can call the end. That would be tasty, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be a bit of alright. BCCC, looking at the junior grid, apart from the top two, it's all a bit quiet. So yeah, I think we'll be looking towards the GT5 class for a bit of a battle, but there's quite big gaps at the moment. Alex CDL's just dropped 2 seconds to the Wolf, like you said there, Sam, so I have to keep an eye on that in the closing laps. Maybe Alex just made a mistake, but you never know. There's the light's starting to go now. Stuart Davis got his lights on, sort of leading the way for D-Man. And here we go, there's a replay. What's this over here? Oh, this might be what happens to Sabrosa.
You got Alex in the leading car there, going past his teammate. Looks like Stu goes a bit wide. Wonder if Sabrosa thinks he can go on the inside. It certainly looks like it. Oh, he just tags the back of it. That's super lucky not to send Stu around. It's just unsettled the GT5 Ginetta of Sabrosa, and away she went. No helping that. Good, lucky D-Man didn't get caught up. And talking of D-Man, looks like he's alongside him, going on the inside.
Yeah, just looking at the live feed there, yeah.
He's
going for the lead.
Yes, the sun starts to set here. He's got the inside line coming into turn 2. This is D-Man's big chance now. He's been behind that car for a long time, and he's down the inside. Stu tries to stick it around the outside. Oh, and he just manages it. Really good driving there from Stuart Davis as he spits a bit of flame now, and he's on his way, still in the lead, but really under significant pressure now in the latter stages of this race. We've got 4 or 5 laps left to go. Yeah, kicking up the grass now. He's really ragged, and he's on the grass the other side now, and he's run wide, and D-Man's through on the inside. Fantastic stuff from the Irishman. And he passes the Englishman now, but Stuart Davis is going to have the slipstream all the way up the hill, and he's hoping to come back at him now before he loses too much ground, but it looks like he has lost quite a bit of ground in that mistake there, especially in these slightly underpowered junior cars, because you make an error down there, you're going to lose it all the way up here now.
Chris
he's going to have to try and stick with D-Man. And yes, what's happened to Chris is Chris. He's just cut to him now. It's all kicking off here in the latter stages, isn't it? And Alex CDL now leads. So Alex CDL with a big, well, he needs to get as many points here as possible, especially with championship leader Sabrosa out of this race seemingly. But Chris Doherty here, he really does need to try and get a win for himself too. But look at this now. Big Bad Wolf is in second now with 3 laps to go. What can he do?
Yeah, it's not bad going at all. And there's Alex CDL. He's sort of trampling along there, doing his thing. I wish some of these drivers would turn their lights on. You can actually see who's who. But now looking at that, I don't know what happened to Chris. Maybe made a mistake. I don't know, got on a curb wrong, or hit. Maybe I can't see any junior drivers that are sort of out of position now. But here comes Big Bad Wolf. He's up behind Roger. He should catch you at the right place there. Get a nice little toe coming out the corner. So that'll do. But yeah, poor Stuart Davis. He's I think he just got pressured into that mistake there by D-Man. There's only 2 laps to go now. So it's looking like it's going to be
Yeah, only 2
tight
laps to
finish.
go, and very similar lap times between the top 2 as well. A 106.5 versus a 106.7 for Big Bad Wolf, and Chris Doherty a 106.2, but he's got a little bit more ground to make up. Free Gazelle, race 1 winners in 4th. He's had a very quiet one today, but he's just ticking along quite nicely. 2nd in the championship at the moment, so good points all for him. And then we got Cherryberry, who's passed Dino Christian about 1 million times today, but he's eventually ended up ahead of him, well, so far anyway. And there's Free Gazelle we're just looking at now, and Stuart Davis. So Stuart Davis now, what can he do on D-Man? Where's the best chance for him to make a move now with just a couple of laps left to go?
I think it's out of the last corner. He seems to be able to get a good run on. Either that or going up the hill and using that slipstream to get past, but there's a few car lengths between them. And who's that coming up behind? Is that Cherryberry? I think it is. No lights on.
Yep, without the lights.
Yeah, Cherryberry.
He's gone incognito.
Yeah, either that or Speedway Sam has put a bit of nitros in his tank. But,
yeah, that would be handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but here we are,
I don't know how
penultimate
these
lap
guys
now.
will
Look at
respond.
the times at the top of the GT5. 2.5 seconds Big Bad Wolf has scored on Alex CDL on that last lap, and there's only about a lap and a half to go.
A 108.4 for Alex. What on earth happened there, do we think?
There's a possibility
He's
of it.
Alex.
Spin.
I was just wondering with Chris's 10-second time penalty whether Frigazell could get 3rd place still, but I don't think he has enough in him at the moment. But yeah, look, I wonder if Alex is a bit worried about spinning. Obviously, we know he's prone for it, and he just wants to try and eke out a win. But with the but
He's in team spin for a reason.
Yeah, but it's still looking at it, it's gone dark at now. The conditions are changing. We haven't really spoken about it, but it will be a different car, under the drivers now compared to the start of the race. Lower fuel, cooler track temperatures. You don't know what's happening. But, well, we can see what's happening. Big Bad Wolf, look at the speed he's carrying out of there. He is right on Alex's tail as they begin come to start the final lap now. And there's Stuart Davis and D-Man still nose to tail. And yeah, there we are, the leaders starting their final lap now. So these guys have got 2 laps to go. And yeah, the GT5s are on that final lap.
This is a regular occurrence now. We're seeing battles for the lead between the top 2 or 3 drivers every single race in this championship so far in both categories. So we've been absolutely spoilt here, but we're not going to complain too much because look at this now. Half a second between the juniors, half a second between the GT5s, and Big Bad Wolf in the yellow car is right tucked up underneath Alex EDL's orange cars. They go up the hill now, and this is the final lap. So Big Bad Wolf has to make a move here somewhere. His teammate stays well out of the way there. BTCC Dan could see him coming through. And where's he going to make? He's gone incognito, Big Bad Wolf. He's going to try and surprise Alex CDL as we cut away now to D-Man and Stuart Davis in the junior category coming into the last corner. Is it the last corner? Looks like it. Yeah, D-Man, and this is Big Bad Wolf now, down the inside of Alex CDL. It's the last corner of the last lap, and he's got him, and Alex CDL tries to fight back. He's going to try and get the run across the line, but he doesn't quite do it, and this is D-Man and Stuart Davis going across the line. They've got one more lap to complete, of course, because then Stuart Davis down the inside, he's taken that position away, but it's Big Bad Wolf who takes his first ever win. We said earlier on he'd never won before, and he's finally won. Fantastic for Big Bad Wolf, and coming together there. That's Stuart Davis, and he's off. Stuart Davis is going sideways, and he's in the gravel now, and D-Man's probably next that win now. If he can just keep it on the straight and narrow and get up the hill, he'll have the junior win.
Yeah, great finish.
But what a race that was, what a finish.
Yeah, that's it. D-Man's just got to bring it home now, and that's it for him. And the GT5 leaders have caught up already, look.
Well, what's D-Man doing?
I don't know, he's slowed right up, isn't he? And there's Stuart Davis.
He's got to get to the end.
Oh no, it's Chris is just taking him out. Is that,
Possibly.
Has he maybe thought the race was over? And I think he has, and maybe his teammates come up for the obligatory post-race smash-up that the drivers like to do, and he's just completely taken his teammate out.
Well, this is sensational. We have never seen this before. And D-Man, he had the win. He had the win in his hands. And now he's suddenly finding himself, where is he going to finish now? And he still finished second. Oh, he still finished second, actually, because Scuderia Sam in third didn't make it across the line to do another lap. So, yeah, lucky for D-Man, it could have been a lot worse. And look at the carnage across the line. What a race that was. And this is the overtake here, down into the last corner. Talk us through this one, Al.
Yeah, it was just a lot more pace out to the second to last corner from Wolf, and used that all the way into the final corner. Nothing Alex could do. I think he tried to get the cut back, but look at the pace on Rich. He just nothing could do. And a bit of a wobble on there for Alex since he had to use the rumble strip, and nothing he could do. And a great win there for Wolf. But then you see Stu and D-Man. Stu ran the curve, D-Man on the outside. It's just argy-bargy there. Stu forcing D-Man wide. I think he gives it a bit back. Yeah, there you go. Another push. Oof, that's a close, tight race in there, and I think it just coming back on again. The third hit was all she wrote, and that put Stu off.
Yeah, I mean, D-Man was fighting for it there, wasn't he, Stu? But he suddenly decided that the race was finished.
Yeah, unless again he thought that was just part of the after race sort of crashing into each other that they do, and he just took it as a bit of fun there. And there's the GT5 winners coming through, so they're already finished. And Stuart Davis, on board with Stuart Davis now, he's still racing. And yeah, there you are. The rest of the guys just cruising in front of him, thinking that they're all done.
Yeah, it's quite a weird one, that.
There
So
goes D-Man.
So yeah, not only did he think the race was over and see his rival pass him there for the win, but also simultaneously got taken out by his teammate as well before he could even realise what was happening. So yeah, I feel a bit sorry for D-Man there, but Stuart Davis won't be feeling sorry for him, will he? And as a confirmation of the results there, Big Bad Wolf first ever win. Stuart Davis takes the win in the junior. What a race, guys!
Yeah, brilliant race. It was a bit quiet in the midsection, you could say, but it really livened up towards the end, and we have another new winner in the championship. That's two first-time winners, with Free Gazelle taking round 1 and now Wolf taking round 3, and then see the Alex in second with the fastest lap of the race, and Chris Doherty in third place, but with a 10-second penalty, so he's lucky to keep third. Then Free Gazelle, Cherry and Dino Christian, and obviously Sabrosa sadly retired.
Yeah, and the juniors, of course, Stuart Davis there will close right in on Scuderia Sam in the championship. Now we'll have a look at the standings in a bit. Oh, yeah, they are. It's Big Bad Wolf, who Big Bad Wolf leads the driver standings now, by the looks of it. Fantastic stuff for Big Bad Wolf. I think it might be the first time he's ever led the driver standings. So Free Gazelle there in second, Sabrosa, Chris, Alex CDL in fifth, Cherry Berry sixth, Dino and then Stalker Run. They're all trying to catch the Wolf now, and it's Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis on joint points now, 10 points ahead of Lupin McGee, and D-Man there on 13 points. What could have been for D-Man today, but I'm sure he'll come back strong. BTCC Dan there down in 5th, and then Roger the Dodger making his debut in this championship on 5 points. Dino Christian showing in the junior one, but I don't know if that's quite right. And then the team standing, Stuart.
Yeah, Team Spin have done alright there. Taking the lead from Team Not Mates after Cherry Berry's dismal couple of races. Sabrosa McGee, it should be a bit higher up there. Obviously, Sabrosa having a bit of an instant crash and bash. Yeah, again, not too bad, but it's, again, what could be for those guys. Team Ireland, I don't know what's going on with those guys, just sort of wiping each other out while they're still racing, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's all to play for. Roger the Dodger, of course, is sort of fluttering between classes wherever he goes, so yeah, he's don't pay too much attention to him in the team's championships. He'll be where he is. So.
Well, it could be anyone's game still at the moment. It's still early days. There's a lot of racing left to go, and we've seen how close it can be. So you'll have to keep following this championship because it won't be decided for a long time yet. So join us next time.